I've got Remy in the car. We're going to Walmart. I need to get chicken for the dogs. I need to get pork for Ike too, I think. Well, you know, I can always have more. Um, eh, Specifically what I need to get at Walmart, and I might need to go to Watkins Supply or Home Depot, is stuff for home repair. I'm working on a lot of stuff inside the house right now. I've got a lot to do today. I had to work Bowser. Bowser's doing great. It's going real great with Bowser. I got most of the paint scraped off this drywall. Honestly, this might be easier if I just took this drywall down and started off with new drywall, but I've decided not to do that. So I have to skim coat this drywall. There's still sort of paint on here. I need to get some fiberglass tape. There's areas that they never even taped the drywall. So I got to tape the drywall. Let me show you. Like, this is common. There's a seam right there. And they didn't even tape it. So I think I might scrape it a little bit more, but most of it's down. Like I said, I gotta get fiberglass. I'm looking at this morning. The whole room, and I am wondering if I should just rip it down and put up new drywall. I don't know. Probably be just about as hard. You know, there's just all kinds of cracks too, so I gotta, it's a lot of work. It's a very old house. I mean, look at this. They didn't even, they didn't even tape this. That's not gonna work. I'll tell you what, I do kind of like this green. This green paint almost looks like old-fashioned milk paint. It's like a really dead flat. I do know one thing that I'm gonna have to do when I paint this room. One, I'm gonna have to prepare the walls better. There's no way I can put anything on this. And the other thing is, once I do prepare and patch them, I'm probably gonna texture the wall to hide imperfections. Texture the paint, mix something in, some kind of additive to texture it so that it's not. It's pretty rough. It's pretty rough, and I think that I can cover it up by doing that, texturing it using a super flat paint. I have debated whether old-fashioned milk paint would look really good. I'm gonna think about it. I'm gonna price it. I've used it before. Old-fashioned milk paint is about as flat as you can get. It was originally made for painting plaster. It's what they used years ago. I think they also called it Caine, I think. But old-fashioned milk paint, the colors are awesome. I've used it on furniture before. It's really nice looking stuff, so I am debating whether I do that in this room. I like this room a lot. This is one of my favorite rooms. That's why I want to finish it out as quick as possible so that I have one room to sit in that's finished. And this is the room that has the wood-burning stove. I just like this room. It's downstairs. The ceiling's up already. I probably did that 5-6 years ago or something on a weekend. So that's done. Now I need a multi-tester too, because I have a lot of wires that in the walls that I'm not so sure are hot. So I want to check them out before I start ripping stuff out. But like, this is an example. I mean, here's this outlet, right? It's up here. This is close to the wall. It's sort of falling apart. Not the wall, it's up by the ceiling. So I want to remove this, so I need a multi-tester to find out if this is hot. This building has some really old wiring in it. It has some newer wiring, but it has some older stuff too. That's a hole. Check this out. This is a hole that when a bat was in here, I was so flipped out. I just started like, if I saw a hole, Hey, Billy, give me a sec. I'll get you out. If I saw a hole, I'd just start plugging it with anything that I could find because I didn't know how the bat got in here. But the bat got in here when the door was open and I was loading the car, unloading the car. So that's my plan for today is train Bowser, go to Walmart or Home Depot or both. I could go to the one that there's a Home Depot and a Walmart right next to each other. I think I can get everything I need at Home Depot. I know they got a multi-tester and I'm pretty sure that they have fiberglass. So this is my plan, to stay in one room at a time, do a little work. I did a lot of work on this room yesterday. I probably scraped paint for 3 hours, 4 hours. I'd scrape, I'd work bows, I'd scrape, I'd work bows, and then sweeping up the paint chips and everything. That was a lot. That's like half a trash bag. I'm not kidding. Just sweeping that up took a long time. So if I just keep doing a little bit every day, I'm gonna start knocking this out like no problem. So that's the goal. So I guess we're headed to Walmart today. Now this, I like seeing this because anything that isn't this is gonna be replaced. There's old cloth wire in here. I've already replaced some of it. This is gonna be replaced, although this is probably safe and, you know, still works. So I need to get stuff for that because, like, if I'm doing a session with Bowser, there's downtime. Like, you don't train the dog back to back. You have to let them have time to decompress. So say I got 40 minutes between each session, I can get a lot done. I could put in that light switch, or I could, you know, start skim coating the wall, start preparing the wall to paint. See? Makes sense, right? Just have the stuff on hand and then I can start knocking it out. It's not gonna get done if I keep procrastinating. If I keep saying, well, I have other stuff to do. Yeah, I have other stuff to do, but it'll never get done. You know, it's not gonna get done by itself. I can't pay somebody to do it. That cost a fortune. To redo my house, I bet that would cost, not redo it, just to do it. Interior with labor and everything, I'm looking at $35,000. That's doing it on the cheap. Seriously, that would be doing it on the cheap. Outside, I got another section of roof to put on. I'm doing that. Outside shouldn't be that bad. I need to find somebody that will replace my siding. Not replace it, just sort of put siding up that matches up towards the top where I'm missing it. I really don't want to pay to have the whole thing done. That would be 10 grand. At least that's what it was. God, how many years ago was that? I got an estimate. I hadn't had it that long. I don't know, that was 8 years ago or something. I got an estimate. The guy said 10 grand to do the whole thing. Now, I guess that's vinyl siding. I don't know. I just don't want to get on a ladder, man. I'm too old. If I fall or something, if I break my leg, I break my arm, I can't work, you know, and I have to be able to train dogs. So that's why we're headed to Walmart today, is to get that kind of crap. Right, Remy? Remy did something this morning that she does sort of often. I mean, often enough to make it annoying, and that's like trying to wake me up by taking her beak and pecking me right there, right under the eye. It fucking hurts. I was pissed, wasn't I, Remy? See? She knows. She doesn't care. She's like, get up, you lazy bum. You got shit to do. That's the truth. That's what she's telling me. She tries to wake me up in the morning. I prefer when she tries to wake me up by like snuggling her face next to mine, you know, not, I'm gonna peck him real hard. Get up, you dumb motherfucker. You have shit to do, you know. That's how she acts. She's naughty, aren't you, Remy? tell you what else is bothering me, other than what was bothering me was the facial hair. It was bothering the shit out of me. And that's the hair on my head. Steve. Yes, my hair does have a name. A lot of people know this. I mean, look at it. It's like it's its own thing. It's separate of me. A lot of people give me shit about my hair because they're jealous. Well, my hair grows real fast, so now it's real long, so now I need to get it cut. So, you know, if Walmart, if a chair is open, I'm gonna go in there and get my hair cut, and then that way it's done, and then I won't have to cut my hair for another 6-7 months, something like that. Depends. You know, Steve grows quick, real quick. So it really doesn't, it doesn't matter if I cut it off, it's gonna grow back. I'm not bald, you know? That's why a lot of people give me shit, like go cut your hair and shit like that. Like, what do you give a shit if my fucking hair is cut or isn't cut or combed? That always boggles my mind, is when guys are like telling me, oh, have some respect, iron your t-shirt, comb your hair. Oh, is that what self-respect is about? Wearing an iron t-shirt? Who the fuck irons a t-shirt? What kind of anal retentive idiot are you? Seriously. And combing, I haven't owned a comb or a brush since I was in high school. I comb has not touched my Steve in years. It's a fucking waste. Where you gonna comb your hair? Why don't you use some hairspray too, idiot? No, that's the people that are making the comments, are Trump supporters. You're a Trump supporter, right? And you like to use a lot of hairspray like Trump. Yeah, he's got a lot of self-respect. Well, actually, he probably does. He just doesn't have respect for anyone else. That's the problem with our president, is he doesn't really give a shit about anybody but himself. And he uses a lot of hairspray. Get used to it. And this is a fact. I know that this hurts. It looks more and more like, you know how he always says there's been no collusion? There's been no collusion proved in a court. That doesn't mean it didn't happen. It certainly he looks guilty as shit. Donald Trump looks so guilty. Anybody who would think that he isn't guilty, you would have to be foolish. I'm telling you right now, it's getting good. It's getting to the point where I can gloat. Okay? Remember this. I have a really good friend in St. Louis, Rich, and Peter. They're both brothers. They're friends of my other Chris, you know. Richard and Peter voted for Trump. He's still saying mega this and 6 more years and all that, but Richard's a smart dude, so is Peter. I'm sure that Richard's just saying it to give me shit. You know, I'm sure that Richard knows that this isn't going well and that Trump probably is guilty. I mean, Richard's no dummy, either is Peter. Check it out, an electric fly knife. You know what this is good for? This is good for cutting foam. Works real good. Like you're making a sculpture or something, you want to cut foam. This works pretty good. Not really, well, it's different than using a hot knife. A hot knife is good for foam too, but you have to breathe in all that burnt foam. These work good. I don't really see the advantage of this. Like it goes on pink, and then when it's dry, it's white. I don't know. I've been out of this kind of work for years. I haven't painted a wall, and I used to do stuff like that for money. I'd paint office spaces, houses, you know. I've got a lot of experience doing it. I don't ever remember. This is new, at least probably within the last 20 years. I'll get it. I'll try it just so I can try it. I think I should get some caulk It looks like I could at least use, I don't know, 50 of these. I should just buy a whole box. I'll say one thing for Walmart. They have more than you would think that they would have as far as like electrical stuff goes. I'm not gonna go to Watkins Supply today because, see, they got a multi-tester so that I can see if a line is hot. I'm sort of good at electrical shit. I just get it for some reason. I'm not fearful of it, that's for sure. I have multi-testers wherever, you know. I got a couple at the studio. I got some in the house. I can't really find them. This is $3. This is what I'm gonna get. It just tells you if the circuit's hot. That's awesome. I just passed the Red Bull. I didn't get any. I'm not really upset. I don't really need it. I just liked it a lot. No, I don't get it anymore because I'm quitting. I'm not gonna fucking do no more Red Bull. Check it out, Bigfoot. But that is not what Bigfoot look like. They don't. Yeah, this guy looking like a, I don't know. They just don't look like that. How do I know? Because I have several Bigfoot frozen. And I have something else I'm going to be showing on my other channel, which is Caine's Wetland Skunk Ape, aka Bigfoot and Sasquatch. If you haven't already liked that channel, please, not like it, subscribe. I want to get it up to 1,000 subscribers as quick as possible so I can monetize it. You know, kids are cute. I just don't understand why people bring them in public places, bring them on trains, planes, you know. They're adorable, but they also grow up and hate you, don't they? It's too late for me. Well, I mean, I could still bust a load, sure. I could get the job done. There's some hottie out there just looking to get, you know, some action, looking for a good provider. Well, if you're looking for a good provider, you might want to look someplace else. I got shit on my plate. I did check and see if they could squeeze me in to cut my hair. And they said a half an hour. I'm not waiting a half an hour to get my fucking hair cut. I wish I had the Flowbee. I would use the Flowbee, hook it up to my shop vac. Might be an idea. But they gave me a card. I can call and make an appointment, which that's what I'll do. I don't want to wait. I just want to cut. I don't want to look like Bob Seger, you know? You know what the problem is that I got a killer ass. So if my hair's real long, some dude's gonna think that he's checking out some chick, some hot chick with a smoking ass. I turn around, it's a little gay. Not on my part. The guy that was checking out my ass that thought that I was a broad. It can happen. I always thought Walmart was the cheapest on all medications. They are not. I was checking to see what this medication was priced at. Costco's cheaper. And by the way, if you go to, I think it's rx.com, this is what I was told. They give you like a discount card. So instead of it costing $500, you take it to the place that gives you the discount for it, it can cost you $50. Like, it's a big price break. Some of these medications, right when they come out, are just like so expensive. Who can afford that shit? You know? Shop around. I think it is rx.com. You know, there's options out there for the uninsured. As I pulled up, there was this woman looking at my car, and she turned to me and goes, "Somebody has a pigeon in this car." And I said, "Yeah, that's my car, and that's Remy. Does that bother you?" And she said, "No, it doesn't bother me. I just thought that it was weird." What's so weird about seeing a pigeon in a car? It's not like it's a gorilla, you know? It's not like Bigfoot's driving, is sitting around waiting in a Honda Odyssey. It's a domestic bird. If there was a cockatoo in here, would you like stand outside the window? Like, don't tap on windows, don't do stuff like that. Remy was, I'm sure, getting kind of nervous. Stop looking at Remy.